Imagine building super fast, highly advanced AI agents for your own projects, right? But here's the kicker. Doing it without spending a single dime. That is exactly the massive opportunity we're unpacking in today's explainer. If you've been sitting on the sidelines just because API costs were way too high, well, you're gonna love this. We're gonna map out exactly how those financial roadblocks have literally just vanished. Advanced agents, zero cost, Nvidia API. I know, right? Those phrases usually do not belong in the same sentence. But hey, we are not talking about some generic, low-tier tools today. The source material poses a pretty direct challenge here. If you bring the vision for a project, there is now an actual pathway to use NVIDIA's enterprise-grade technology to build your AI backbone. And the best part? You get to do it completely without the enterprise-grade price tag. So, the engine making all of this possible is called the Nvidia-Agent-Core. Basically, it's a comprehensive GitHub repository and framework that's designed specifically to help you build self-directed, autonomous agents. Think of it like the ultimate brain power that you just install directly into your project. Instead of running those basic one-off scripts where you kind of have to hold the AI's hand every single step of the way, this framework actually gives your agents the autonomy to go out and execute really complex tasks entirely on their own. It's a total game changer. Now, the reason this specific framework is so incredibly impactful really just comes down to one thing: ecosystem integration. Because the Agent Core is built by NVIDIA, it is specifically designed to interface natively with their wider AI hardware ecosystem. And the source actually highlights three major guarantees here. We're talking top speed, great performance, and high efficiency. Because your agent framework is literally speaking the exact same language as the underlying hardware, you're able to bypass all those common system bottlenecks right out of the box. How cool is that? At this point, you might be hearing words like NVIDIA and autonomous agents and thinking, okay, I definitely need a PhD in machine learning to pull this off. But don't worry, the source actually makes a really encouraging distinction here. This framework completely bridges the gap. Seriously, whether you're a professional web developer building super robust applications for high-paying clients, or you're just a passionate AI enthusiast tinkering around on the weekends, this whole setup is designed to meet you exactly where you are. And the secret to bridging that gap? It's the architecture itself. The NVIDIA Agent Core features an incredibly organized structure and really clean code. The source notes that because of this specific setup, you don't have to spend weeks just wrestling with a mess of spaghetti code or some ridiculously complex architecture. You can just jump straight into development. You'll be deploying custom agents for real-time tasks with absolutely unparalleled speed. Okay, let's pivot for a second and talk about the financials, because honestly, this quote from the source is the absolute anchor of this entire concept. Quote, NVIDIA has made its API free, so there is no API issue anymore. And that's huge. Historically, autonomous agents are constantly looping, they're thinking, they're making repeated API calls to these language models. And let's be real, that can drain a development budget completely overnight. But by dropping this cost to literally zero, NVIDIA has completely wiped out the largest financial barrier to entry. Just gone. So, the big question? How do you actually get your hands on this? Well, the source doesn't just tease the technology and leave us hanging. It actually provides a direct roadmap to completely bypass the usual industry gatekeeping. So, let's move right into the execution phase, shall we? Because we want you to be able to start building your own agents immediately. Alright, here is the exact playbook to get you up and running. Step 1 is super simple. According to the source, you can either comment API or both links on the creator's post to get the resources sent straight to you, or honestly, just go ahead and Google NVIDIA Free API to hunt it down yourself. Step 2, and this is a crucial pro tip here, if you're going to message the creator directly for the links, make sure to follow them first. Otherwise, your message is probably going to get completely buried in some hidden requests folder. And finally, step 3, once you've got that GitHub link, just grab it, fork the repo over to your own account, and boom, you are officially ready to build. So let's zoom out for a second and look at the whole picture we've uncovered in this explainer. You've got access to the incredibly powerful NVIDIA API, completely for free. You have the Agent Core code, beautifully organized and just sitting there ready to be forked. Those old traditional barriers of super high costs and ridiculously complex setups, they are totally gone. The actual tools to create highly efficient, fully autonomous AI agents are quite literally waiting for you right now. So I guess the only question left to ask yourself is, what are you going to build first?